Fan Racing. Jumping away from the stalls, soft falling rain bounces out well with top-notch Tonto early on. Burwise cutting out the pace right down the middle of the racecourse with Letter More. At this stage, King's Barnes and Elusive Kate both coming over to join them. Over on the far side, the Elusive Kate's rider is just anxious to ensure that gets the far right-hand berth. So it's Burwise who leads through the first couple of furlongs. From Letter More in second, soft falling rain's noseband is third. Big white face of top-notch Tonto as Burwise is really pressing on here and ensuring it's a decent test of stamina. King's Barnes is in fifth place with Dawn Approach, his white face, blue jacket with Gordon Lord Byron. Elusive Kate in midfield, they're already getting very well strung out here. Casper Netcher still under restraint towards the back of the field with Maxios, Olympic Glory, Casper Netcher, Gregorian and Gordon Lord Byron away to the left-hand side. So Burwise leading them right up the middle of the racecourse. Lettermore's rider steals a peep to see where the main body of the field are. Soft falling rains towing them up with King's Barnes. Dawn Approach, rider just getting a little lower in the saddle. Olympic Glory travelling much more kindly than sometimes the case with Maxios being ridden along top-notch Tonto and Gordon Lord Byron. Burwise now flat out with Letter More. Dawn Approach angles out to get a sight of the lead. Top-notch Tonto running a blinder. Then King's Barnes, Olympic Glory angles out for a challenge as well. Top-notch Tonto out in front with King's Barnes. Dawn Approach now flat to the boards. Olympic Glory squeezing through the gap and Elusive Kate stays on. It's Olympic Glory who moves through the mixture with top-notch Tonto. Dawn Approach can't go on. King's Barnes and it's Olympic Glory lit up by the blinkers who's coming away. Top-notch Tonto, King's Barnes, Dawn Approach and Elusive Kate, but this is all about Olympic Glory scorching clear for Richard Hughes, Richard Hannon and Sheikh Johan bin Hamad Al Thani. Off and racing for the QE2. They bound away to a good line. Top-notch Tonto, white face encouraged along with Custom Cut out wide early on. They're both heading over towards the near side. King's Barnes holding position. Graphic as the riders check they're clear of any trouble. Two or more in midfield was the one who was just marginally inconvenienced and is now climbing on the heels of Graphic as having got their stations. The front two try and sit up. Top-notch Tonto leads early from Custom Cut. Brendan Bracken's noseband on the outside of King's Barnes. Graphic on the rails of Two or More. At this stage, Night of Thunder is well back, tracking Integral. Last of all is Captain Cat, and Tullius is towards the outside, tracking the French runner Charm Spirit. So top-notch Tonto, last year's runner-up, heading down towards halfway, pointing those big white feet by over a length from Custom Cut in second place. Brendan Bracken, then King's Barnes and Graphic making up the second wave. Integral red, white and blue, with on the outside Charm Spirit. Tullius comes next. Two or More, Night of Thunder is taking a very brave route right up the inside. At the back of the pack will need some luck. Integral is also another one who's surrounded by horses at the moment, and now Richard Hughes changes tack on Night of Thunder and angles out towards the centre to get some daylight, which isn't coming at the moment. Custom Cut, Top-notch Tonto, Brendan Bracken are the wall. Charm Spirit pulled out. Tullius and on the outside Captain Cat. Night of Thunder's had to take the scenic route. Integral also needs some room right across the course. Tullius, Night of Thunder waiting in the wings. Captain Cat over on the outside, and now Charm Spirit is asked to go and win the race. Night of Thunder switches to the inside. Charm Spirit for France leads Tullius. Night of Thunder, Two or More is coming home very strongly indeed. Out in front, Charm Spirit, Two or More, Tullius and Night of Thunder. Charm Spirit got first run and has won the QE2 for France. Charm Spirit won in Night of Thunder and Two or More, the Hannon pair with Tullius, then Captain Cat, King's Barnes and the rest at long intervals. And they're off and racing for the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, and the early feature, Not a Frantic Gallop. Elm Park moves to the lead for Andrea Atzani. Solo immediately drops onto the leader's tail in company with Cody Bear, and the two have a bit of a barging match as Cody Bear is a little reluctant to drop his head and now pursues the leader, but is still lit up in second place. Integral races in the daisy chain formation in fourth, just ahead of the All Blue of Territories. Glen Eagles is settled quite well back in the field as they snake their way up the home straight. Bellardo comes next with Top-notch Tonto and Gabriel. Elm Park out in front. Cody Bear anxious to go faster and the pace has increased. 2 lengths to Solo, who's in third place. Integral shares fourth with Territories. Then comes Glen Eagles ahead of Bellardo. Top-notch Tonto and Gabriel held up at the rear of the field, so still right up the middle in this almost single line formation. Elm Park leading Cody Bear. Solo poised to have third crack in third place with Territories. Then behind these we have Integral. Glen Eagles away to the left hand side in the blue and orange colours. Then Top-notch Tonto, Bellardo and Gabriel. Elm Park presses on. Cody Bear, then they're gradually edging over to the near side. Solo in third place. Glen Eagles with a little bit of work to do. He's shaken up the moment of truth. Cody Bear edging over to the near side, far side Elm Park. Solo trying to bridge the gap. So's Glen Eagles and Integral. Solo coming at Elm Park. Glen Eagles over on the far side. Cody Bear, Integral running a mighty race. Solo has got to the lead past Elm Park. Glen Eagles with work to do and time running out. And it's Solo the grey in front. Bernardo coming late on the scene. But Solo continues this perfect season and wins the Queen Elizabeth II. And they're off. Racing over the straight mile, Barchan over to the far side is one of those to show. Galileo Gold's a bit keen in the early stages. Minding heading over to the far side with Ribchester. Meanwhile, Jet Setting is coming right up this near side running rail as Barchan's rider has a look behind to see where Ribchester is, and will find that Minding splitting the pair over that far side group with Hit It a Bomb, Mitcham Swagger and Stormy Antarctic. The group coming down the stand side are headed by Jet Setting, who leads from the claret cap of Galileo Gold under restraint. Hatal comes next, then the blue and white colours with the striped cap of Ortard, Lightning Spear and Breton Rock towards the tail of this near side group. Arde is stand side as well. So at the moment, two distinct groups. Barchan towing Minding down the centre with Ribchester, Hit It a Bomb, Mitcham Swagger's White Face, and also White Face Red and Black of Stormy Antarctic. Jet Setting under the near side running rails, towing along the Al Shakab pair, Galileo Gold and Hatal in the gold cap. Then the Sheikh Hamdan pair, the striped cap of Ortard and the black one of Arde, and then Lightning Spear and Breton Rock towards the rear of that group. Barchan over on the far side. Ribchester now begins to make his move. Minding's pushed along, then Hit It a Bomb. Near side Jet Setting with Galileo Gold being ridden along. Ribchester, Minding moves out to challenge. Stormy Antarctic, Mitcham Swagger over on the far side. Lightning Spear changes course. Minding, she moves to the front. Ribchester, then Ortard, Galileo Gold. Lightning Spear is staying on stoutly, but it's Minding who's moved to the lead in the QE2. Lightning Spear and Ribchester are trying to run her down, but it's Minding who still leads by over a length. Ribchester trying to close 7 Group 1s, and she's only 3. Minding won the QE stakes to G2 stakes to beat Ribchester.
And away and racing. Ribchester was 2 from the right in the noseband. Away well, Toscanini, his stable companion far side, along with Lancaster Bomber. Sir John Lavery in the dark blue jacket going forward over the far side as well, followed by Churchill Persuasive. Ribchester's very keen today in that noseband. Alwu Kair alongside him as they race through the first quarter mile. Back in the midfield, Lightning Spear from Nathra, and then on the far side, Sea of Grace, and then back to Beat the Bank is another keen goer. Thunder Snow out the back. Here comes Wen. Breton Rock is the back marker. Zonderland in the second half of the field alongside, also in the Cheveley Park colours, Persuasive. And now Toscanini is the overall leader and racing towards the centre of the group, the centre of the course. On the far side, Lancaster Bomber is tracked by Churchill over there with Sir John Lavery. Alwu Kair in the Silver Silks in that left-hand group. Sea of Grace is tracking them as well from Zonderland over there. Here comes Wen and Breton Rock. Meanwhile, Toscanini is tracked by Ribchester. Ribchester's now pulled out for a challenge. Nathra with a chance as well. It's beginning to unfold and an open race, and Ribchester probably just about strikes the front under William Buick. Churchill coming through with Nathra. Out wide, Lightning Spear. They're inside the final 2. Ribchester is the leader by a length to Lightning Spear. Nathra, Churchill on the far rail. The grey Persuasive running on steadily. Ribchester's leaning across to the far rail. Churchill on the rail, but Persuasive is finishing best, and the filly takes it up. She goes sweeping on by Ribchester. It's Persuasive, and Frankie Dettori in the Cheveley Park colours goes 2 lengths clear, striding up to the line to win the Queen Elizabeth II stakes. Ribchester second, Churchill third, and Nathra in 4th. And Happily has been taken out of the gate and panicked and is not with them. Happily is a non-runner as they set off. Hey Gaman and Lawrence fast away on the far side with a Dayeb and Century Dream in the green jacket. Beat the Bank coming through strongly now in the blue and white jacket. Just in behind these is Recolitos. A Roaring Lion in the early stages, about 7th or 8th on the near side, the stand side, followed by Gabriel I Can Fly. Romanized is moving up a bit from Stormy Antarctic. Lightning Spear is held up in last place. race. And last but one is Lord Glitters as they race towards the centre of the racecourse in this Queen Elizabeth II Stakes Group 1. And Hey Gaman at a generous looking pace by 3/4 of a length to the Game Filly Lawrence in second. In third is Century Dream, 2 lengths back to Adayeb, racing between Rekalitos on the far side and Beat the Bank on the near side. Then Romanize, Roaring Lion and Gabriel. Further back I Can Fly from Lord Glitters, Stormy Antarctic, Lightning Spear. Hey Gaman continues to press on here at the head of affairs in the hands of Frankie Dettori, but Century Dream and also Lawrence have got him now as they race on inside the final 2.5 furlongs. Century Dream strikes for home far side. Lawrence coming under a drive. Rekalitos is travelling well on the right. Here comes Roaring Lion inside the final quarter, and it's Century Dream by 2 lengths to Rekalitos and Roaring Lion. Stormy Antarctic stays on. Century Dream is coming back to them. Roaring Lion with the big challenge. Rekalitos and I Can Fly on the far side. Roaring Lion is beginning to get up from Century Dream. Well inside the final furlong. I Can Fly fast time. It's getting really tight, but Roaring Lion, the star of the season, just ahead perhaps of I Can Fly. Then Century Dream, close up with Rekalitos, Lord Glitters running on, and Stormy Antarctic. And they're away. And away to a pretty level break, and a little bit of a difference of opinion amongst the jockeys. Safe Voyage cut in behind runners towards the centre. Phoenix of Spain going forward, so too Voracious, who leads the way towards the far side. Voracious from Phoenix of Spain, who's followed by Ben Battle. On the far side, Magna Grecia is a little isolated, but against that far running rail. Happy Power is chasing them, a couple of lengths to Accidental Agent from King of Change. And then moving up towards the outside now in the red jacket, King of Comedy. As they race on towards the halfway stage, Imaging is further back from the Revenant, and then Mohatha. Raising Sand is being held up with Century Dream, and Move Swiftly, Lord Glitters is towards the rear with Safe Voyage. Voracious has opened up into a 3-length lead, maybe 3.5 lengths to Phoenix of Spain and Magna Grecia. And they are followed by Happy Power. Ben Battle towards the outside in the all blue jacket, Accidental Agent. And then behind these races, King of Change. On the right then is King of Comedy and Frankie Dettori getting closer, followed by Imaging. The Revenant is trying to get out, being held in by Imaging. As they race on now with 2 furlongs left to travel. Mohatha's got a bit of ground to make up. Century Dream is pulled very wide. Voracious still leading the way, chased by Happy Power. And here's King of Change now being delivered. Out wide is the Revenant, and King of Change loomed up to lead the way from Voracious. The Revenant is after this new leader. King of Change by 2.5 lengths to the Revenant as they race inside the final furlong. Then Safe Voyage. King of Change just wandering off a true line. The Revenant slightly impeded perhaps, but King of Change is on top, and King of Change wins. King of Change from the Revenant. Safe Voyage through for third. The long-time leader Voracious holding on for fourth. And they're off. Away they go. Lord Glitters is just restrained leaving the stores. Out well, Circus Maximus on the far side leads early. Down the centre, Roseman in the yellow jacket. The Revenant is tracking Circus Maximus far side. Century Dream on the near side from Nazif and Dark Vision. Malatham in the black cap. They're followed further back by Voracious, with Palace Pier some way back in the early stages towards the far side, along with Escobar. Sabuska's on the near side. Lord Glitters and Royal Dornock also towards the rear of the field. The pace not looking that strong. They're well grouped together, and it's Roseman from Circus Maximus, followed in third by Century Dream. The Revenant, last year's runner-up in fourth, followed on the near side by Nazif, and then Dark Vision and Malatham. Palace Pier shadowing Malatham. Then Sabuska's on the near side, and they're followed by Voracious, Lord Glitters, Escobar, and Royal Dornock at the tail of the field. On their way now, passing the halfway stage in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, and Roseman continues to lead the way from Century Dream and Circus Maximus. Nazif is fourth, the Revenant. Palace Pier, the favourite, now moving up towards the far side into about 6th place in the Silver Silks on the left, followed then by Voracious and Escobar and Malatham, and on the right is still Nazif, followed then by Dark Vision and Lancaster House, Lord Glitters and Sabuska. Palace Pier now being asked to go on with the Revenant Revenant trying to go with him. Roseman down on the centre field, still battling away. Palace Pierre's going to have to dig in and get dirty here because the Revenant and Roseman are not stopping, and the favourites beat now inside the final 100 yards. It's the Revenant and Roseman. Sabuska running on down the stands rail. The Revenant from Roseman. The Revenant from Roseman. The Revenant has gone one better. The Queen Elizabeth, the second stakes over the straight mile. Lady Bowthorpe half a beat slow, leaving the stalls. Dropped in his Niord, and Ben Battle goes into an early lead, but at a fairly steady pace by the look of things. Settling in second is Palace Pierre in the silver silks. The Revenant is handy in the red over on the far side through the first furlong. Then Alcohol Free BAAEED in the blue and white jacket. And they're followed by Lady Bowthorpe, the grey lady, Lord Glitters, and then Master of the Seas, who switched off in the white cap, followed by Niord and Mother Earth at the rear of the field. Heading through the first 2.5 furlongs, and Ben Battle is now allowed to stride on a bit by Pat Cosgrave. Leads by a couple of lengths to the Revenant second. They're followed by Alcohol Free. Palace Pierre is sharing third almost with Alcohol Free, followed by Lord Glitters and BAAEED and Lady Bowthorpe. Niord, Master of the Seas, Mother Earth. Ben Battle leads the way, passing the halfway stage in the QE2. Ben Battle stretching on by 2.5 lengths to the Revenant now, followed another 2 lengths away by Alcohol Free. Palace Pierre is close up, then BAAEED to the outside of Lady Bowthorpe, Lord Glitters, Master of the Seas, Niord and Mother Earth. Heading for the final quarter mile, just over the 2 now, and it's Ben Battle still dictating the race from the Revenant. Here's Palace Pierre coming there strongly under Frankie Dettori, then Alcohol Free and BAAEED now being unleashed on the outside, and it's the Revenant that strikes on from Palace Pierre, and BAAEED down the centre charging home. The Revenant, Palace Pierre, BAAEED just doing best on the near side is BAAEED from Palace Pierre and the Revenant. They're chased by Lady Bowthorpe. BAAEED, Palace Pierre is digging in, but BAAEED wins. BAAEED is still unbeaten and wins the Queen Elizabeth II stakes, and Jim Crowley is jubilant and salutes the crowd. And they're off. And a slow break from Inspiral. Fell out of the gate, lost a few lengths, but they haven't gone herring off, so the damage may not be too great. As the lead is held by Jadumi in the early stages, it's a steady pace. El Drama on the far side of the blue-jacketed Modern Games, then Tempest together with the Revenant, then Radobarg and Check and Challenge with Bayside Boy and Inspiral now restrained in last place, but not too detached after that slow start at the beginning of this Queen Elizabeth II stakes. And out in front, Jadumi now goes a length and a half ahead of El Drama in second. 2.5 lengths to Modern Games in third. The pace may be lifting a little bit. They're more strung out than they were. Tempest and the Revenant, fourth and fifth from Radobarg and Check and Challenge, and then Bayside Boy, and still Frankie Dettori hanging on to Inspiral at the back of the field. They're inside the final half mile now. They've passed halfway, and Jadumi continues to lead by a couple of lengths to El Drama in the slipstream. Modern Games about to be produced seemingly by William Buick. Then Tempest Inspiral now pulled out by Frankie Dettori. She's coming with her run but has to be shaken up, and these leaders may take a bit of reeling in. It's Jadumi, El Drama and Modern Games. Then Tempest Inspiral still getting closer, needs to find more. Just over a furlong left to go. Jadumi on the far side of El Drama and Modern Games. Bayside Boy and Check and Challenge are finishing well. Inspiral looks beat, racing up towards the line. Bayside Boy flashing home far side of Jadumi. Modern Games near side, and Bayside Boy, what a turn of foot, wins the QE2. It's tight second between Jadumi and Modern Games, then Check and Challenge, El Drama and Inspiral well beaten after that tardy start.